Hey everyone, Aquawaha Boy Rocks here, and it is now the afternoon after the Prineville powwow, and I'm headed out to a couple of private claims that I got permission to dig thunder eggs on up in the Ochako Mountains. I guess that's east of Prineville, so down Highway 26 there. So I'm going to head out there. We'll look at some footage of my digging, which was mostly surface collecting, and then come back and look at some of the eggs.
I had run into another rockhound out here who's digging in an area, the only area that seemed to have some bigger eggs, so I just went off the other side of the bed and started looking for some little ones. I like small eggs. There were lots of them around. They seemed like they had some agate in them. So here's one just in the tailings pile. The claim owner, when he digs and sells eggs, does a really good job of high grading. I had to go down in the bottom of that ravine and then back up. The Jeep is parked kind of in the middle of the trees when you look around there on the other side. So just lots and lots of broken pieces, interesting rhyolite. I think this rhyolite's a little softer. There were lots of partial cores, whole cores all over the place out here. So just a lot of stuff to pick up and look at. I think the softer rhyolite, and being up as high as it was, roughly 5,000 feet, I think, here, and lots of freezing during the winter, kind of liberated some of the cores from the rhyolite. Lots of conglomerate. I like conglomerate, and I did find some interesting stuff. There's Jasper, you hear barking. It's Jerry's dog, Jasper. Cool dog. Here's getting into some of the bigger pieces of conglomerate. Some of this stuff went home with me, some of it did not. Lots of it did not, but I think I'm going to have some cool stuff to cut. Not this video, but another video. I'll cut some of this and show it. I'm just going to keep working my way around the face of this hill. I don't know if the video does justice how steep this is. It's not too steep to easily walk on, but it's steep enough that you could misstep and take a little roll. These eggs in this area were fairly junky. I would get into some better ones further along as I went. Some interesting core sticking out of that one. Lots of doubles and triples and things that I thought might make interesting cuts. I just can't help but pick up these clusters. So that one was going to end up home with me. Little eggs, love little eggs. So a bunch of those went with me. Doubles, triples, all kinds of little things, lots of little cores you can probably see down in there. These tree roots, as they kind of high grade and toss these little ones behind them, these tree roots kind of gather them up and make them easy picking for me to take with me. I did find an area with some soft rhyolite and lots of little eggs, and decided to do a little bit of digging, but I broke more eggs than I was getting out of there, and the ones I was getting out of there really weren't any better and maybe not as good as what was laying around everywhere. So I pretty quickly gave up on the digging and went back to surface collecting. Now I'm down more to the end of the bed, and things are getting pretty interesting here. Look at these needles down in this broken egg on this piece of conglomerate. And lots of conglomerate, lots of little eggs. This one jasper filled, I think. Little eggs everywhere. Whole ones, well-formed ones to pick up. So some of the conglomerates going home with me, and some of the little eggs that are all over the place here. I'll pick up a bunch of these and take home with me. I don't know what these little blades are, but we'll work on figuring that out. I'll leave you with a quick shot of the ravine. I've got to hike down and back up to get out of here with all these rocks, and I'll see you back in Florida.
So here's a representation of what I got. I said I mostly surface collected. There was someone else there digging, and there was lots of little tiny eggs that I could dig, or I could just pick them up off the ground. So we've got some like this that are solid, and then some like this you can tell are hollow. And although there were some with some very needly growths inside, most of them have these blades. I sent some directly from out there to Jared at Currently Rock Hounding, and he used his microscope and identified them as blades of calcite. So there was lots of this stuff laying around. You probably saw in the video the one with the little needly growth, so I don't know what that is. I didn't bring it back, so maybe I'll find some in one of these, but I think most of them that are hollow are going to look like this. So I'm going to cut some, maybe even most of these, and we'll see what we've got. Alright, I'm going to take a look at some of the material from the first bed at this 2-bed claim in the Ochocos. So here it is. I didn't cut all of it. I never do. So this egg, kind of interesting. Got another one over here that's, yeah, not a great egg.
but I tend to find more of them interesting than a lot of people do. Then we've got these. Have some calcite crystals in them. You've seen some like this on one of the Saturday night specials. Jared, currently rock hounding, I sent him some and he showed them and had some microscope pictures. This is one of the cores. I don't usually cut cores. I usually keep them kind of as specimens, but I had a bunch of them from this location, so I cut that one. Now I've got a bunch of little ones here. Kind of pull some of them together here. Wet them down. So these aren't that much different than any of the other little ones that you'd find there or even in Utah at Dugway, but that green color is pretty cool, I think. And most of them have kind of a brighter white outline there. It's kind of neat. This one tried to have some crystal in it maybe, but that filled in. Then I've got this one. It's got a couple of pockets. Get some more water on that. All right. And then over here I had one that I found pretty interesting. It had the agate core exposed there. Unfortunately, this half broke apart. This half did not. And you can see how thin, just a thin wall of botryoidal agate or chalcedony on that. All right, now to the cool one. And I'm going to try and cut some pictures in of this. I've never seen this before in an egg that I've cut, but I haven't been able to get really good pictures of this. So on the left here, I've got the calcite blades, and I've got needles over here on the right. I guess as this goes in and out of focus, see if I can lock that focus there. You can see that reasonably well. I'll cut some up close pictures in. I don't have a microscope, but I took some pictures with the loupe that might give you a little bit better idea. Unfortunately, I pretty egregiously missed the up orientation on this, so I didn't get to really cut through that water line. So it's not as cool of a specimen as it could be, but I think that's pretty darn neat right there to see those needles. Okay, I'm playing around with the loupe and these needles. Sorry for the out of focus edges and the bad lighting, but this gives you an idea. Now, I don't know what this green is. This green's been really hard for me to get to photograph. But there's some kind of botryoidal translucent green in the back of this egg. And your guess is probably better than mine as to what that is. Again, I'm sorry for the poor quality video, but this is what I can do with the equipment that I've got. All right, so that was
one bed of thunder eggs on this claim in the Ochocos. I was definitely there by permission, had written permission to be there. You see my one fan here spinning that I've got on, the other one spinning a little bit as the breeze blows through. You probably hear the rain. As I record this, Hurricane Ian is maybe 100 miles off of Charlotte Harbor in southwest Florida, so we're on the northern end of the rain shield here, just getting some drizzles and some breeze. My day is definitely better than the day a bunch of my friends are having down in the Sarasota to Fort Myers area down there. So as you watch them, it will have moved through, and it will be up here as you watch this. I usually post these at noon on Thursday, so we are forecast to be in a little bit worse weather as you will be watching this. So I'm going to get it uploaded and get it scheduled to be released in case I do not have power at noon on Thursday. So I will see you next Thunder Egg Thursday.